this is one of my own reference photos. You can get this from artistreferencephotos.com. And I loved just like the shape of this clump of trees. I thought it would be really beautiful to paint. If there's a shape that you want to be a bit more specific about, or if it just makes you feel more comfortable, you can always sketch out the design before you start. With most paintings, that's what I would do. But for these, I'm just trying to, these are just little studies, and I'm trying to keep it as that. But we'll draw one out just to. Okay, so this shape is kind of that, and it comes down. Okay, general shape. We'll start with the darkest color first. So I already have some paints on my palette from the study I just did. I'm trying to look at like the bigger shapes. So I'm not trying to worry about like all the little changes. I'm trying to look at like, this is kind of all dark right here. Then I can go in and add a few more little nuances or details, but I don't have to get caught up in that yet. I'm going to get these mountains back there next. So we've got, it's a little bit darker down here, and then it gets a little lighter behind. I'm doing ultramarine, a little bit of cadmium yellow. Oops, actually, So this starts a little higher. Okay, we'll sort that out. What I'm looking at is there's actually grass right there, and I need to bring that up a little bit. So we'll do that. So the greens are super similar. This is slightly blue-green, slightly more blue-green. Let's see, I'm gonna start a new, well, I'll work on this pile here. I need to make sure there's enough like differentiation between this forward line of grass and what's behind the trees. So that's what I'm working on now. Actually, there is sort of a little bit of a dark, it's a little bit darker there. So let me put that in. There, that helps. Oops. Not mixing very well here. Okay, and the grass kind of goes at a slope, so I want to put my brush strokes in the direction that it's going. And I'm going to shift to a little bit bluer here. To me, it looks like that. When you have this like big swath of green, you just have to sort of like latch on to whatever you can, whatever like variations you can. I'm gonna make this just a little bit lighter. I lost one of my trunks there, so I need to add that back in. There we go. Okay, let's go back to this blue. Oops. Same thing with the grass. I want to like pay attention to like the lines of the mountain or the hill back there. This is where you can kind of shape up the trees a little bit more. My mountain is definitely a little more green, blue-green. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna go in and add some of these lighter greens, which are similar to this one. So I'll just work off of this pile. And I'll go in and add in some more sky. Okay, we need to go lighter. So I'm going to use this little pile here. What I'm paying attention to is the values to make sure that the trees stay darker than the mountains. And again, this is where I can kind of cut around and shape these branches a little bit more. All right, and now for the sky, which is just very pale. I'm gonna start over to get a cleaner blue. There we go. This is also where I'll add just a little bit of like interest to this mountain line here. Those of you who live in like Colorado, you're like, yeah, those aren't mountains. And I agree with you. They're not. But around here, they are mountains. These are a part of the Blue Ridge, which you can see why they're called that. So this is looking a little clunky right there. So I'm gonna come back and add in a little bit more of the trees. Just playing with these shapes until I like them, which I think I'm pretty happy with them now. I want this hill line to be nice and soft because it's in the distance, so it's not going to be super clear. And there we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that.